break. We're back now.
Quick.
Relative terms.
It was only an hour.
It was only an hour.
It was only an hour-ish. We're back now, though, with some more D&D, some more fun times.
Woohoo!
For all our fun guys and others. And
But we don't have much room in this party.
lizards.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know how to respond. Okay. So you guys have sat down. You've decided to go the Somerset route.
Yeah.
So Lorazin pulls out a map of the continent of Illustren. Perfect, right there. Pulls out a map of Illustren and begins to detail the path you guys would be following. It won't show up.
Yeah. We'll have do we have a picture of the map on the Instagram?
We do.
Yeah.
Not.
We can add it.
We will add one. I know Danny has a map saved on her computer.
Yeah.
And I've got one on mine. But, furthermore, she lays it out, shows you guys the route that you guys would be best suited to. And then finally, she takes a seat and says, so, there's... Well, let's not get into that quite now, shall we? Any questions?
Is there anyone we should be avoiding?
Other than most likely the town guard. No.
Oh.
You won't find trouble in Driernook. The people here are understanding. But I would stick to the outskirts of town, passing through Mir.
I don't know if I want to ask my question.
Do it, Pussy No Balls.
Fine. I'm just trying to think of how he'd phrase it.
Have you heard rumors about?
No, it would be more likely to. Lorazin, you wouldn't happen to know anything about the location of a certain black cat, would you?
A bit my tongue.
Well done.
It's in my notes binder.
Ooh, there are things.
Yes, no, I actually keep track of things. I do. Sadly. She takes a second to glance at you. Alright. She turns to you and she says, the last I heard of him, he'd left sometime in the night, heading towards Ocean Hall. I'm not sure where he's gone from there, but if you're looking to find word of him, I'd start there.
Okay.
It's a good thing you're going now.
He kind of nods and says, thank you very much for telling me what you know.
Okay. She glances around again, and she says, very well. If there's nothing else that I can help you with, I will offer my last gift.
That's what that is.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like percentile rolls.
Oh. Oh no!
This
I'm
one
spooked!
and this one.
Let me
Yes.
grab my dice.
D10s. Oh yeah. Okay.
First roll.
51.
Oh, okay. 2 seconds to get it.
Last time we did this, we
30.
got a whiskey drink.
I think I've gone barking now.
What are you talking about? The last time I did this, I got a gem.
Love you.
Ah.
I got 17.
Oh, I haven't updated my chart.
Could I borrow a highlighter?
I
don't have a highlighter, but I have colored pens.
I was going to say something. Oh wait, where's that piece of paper? Okay, wait.
Okay.
It's making me so angry because I just remembered it now, and I was like,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Did you figure out what the activating word for your shield is?
9.
it's. I think it's protection. I don't
Roll
know.
me a d10, each of you.
As well?
Yes.
What's a D10?
The same as percentile. It's just
But without
them
the...
back.
But keep your percentile in mind.
60.
No,
Okay,
no,
keep it
like just up to 10, not
This
6.
one.
6.
1.
1,
2.
4.
2, 4. Okay, keep those down. We'll start with you then. 1.
Yeah, 1.
How much percentile?
30.
30? Alright. Lorzin pulls out a... Well, she doesn't quite pull out. She opens a couple of drawers in a cabinet nearby. And she rummages around for a second. She comes up with a small bottle. And it's a glass vial. There's a little decoration of some, like, vines wrapped around the bottle to keep it hold and stuff. And she tosses it over. It's a kind of viscous red fluid.
Okay.
It sloshes gently and stuff. She says, if you need a little bit of a up-to-do, get a little bit hurt, you know?
Potion.
It's a healing potion.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide what other innuendos I can throw in.
I was gonna say, is it a healing potion or Viagra? 'Cause
We call it Vagron. So you gain a minor healing potion.
okay. I will add that to this side of the list.
Baz, do you want to go next?
6 and 51.
6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 51? Alright. Okay. Let me...
Is it good or
It's,
something?
it's fun.
Oh no.
Well, is it the dildo?
No.
Guys!
Well, we've got Viagra and dildos.
Alex said it's the best potion.
She pulls out a staff. Is there... Okay, here it is. It is carved of a black wood. The top of this staff is fashioned to appear like the head of an adder snake. And it is intricately designed. The mouth is open, fangs glaring out. And she hands it to you. Would you like to roll me an Arcana check?
Good luck with that.
Actually, 17.
17? Alright. So this is the staff of the adder.
Wow.
Isn't that exciting?
Wow.
You can use a bonus action to speak this staff's command word and make the head of the staff become an animated poisonous snake for a minute. By using another bonus action to speak the command word again, you return the staff to its normal inanimate form. Oh my god.
You got this.
You can make a melee attack using the snake head, which has a reach of 5 feet. Your proficiency bonus applies to the attack roll. On a hit, the target takes 1d6 piercing damage and must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw, or take 3d6 poison damage. The snake head can be attacked while it is animate. It has an armor class of 15 and 20 hit points. If the head drops to 0 hit points, the staff is destroyed. As long as it is not
Flag the
destroyed,
page,
the
you're gonna
staff
have to
regains
give them-
all lost
Yeah,
hit
yeah,
points.
yeah,
It reverts to its inanimate form.
You're gonna have to give them all this information again, so you might as well flag the page.
Yes.
Give me that.
It's page 203. There is a slight problem here because the staff must be attuned by a cleric, druid, or warlock,
Have fun. You get to talk to Tavik.
or you get to sell it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that will be 203. So write down page 203. We will find that for you in a second. Ella.
Okay, so do you want the one that I literally just dropped out of my hand and it had the exact same number I was holding it at? Or the percent that I actually rolled?
Whichever.
Okay.
I need the number you rolled for a table, and then I need the percentage.
2.
A 2? Alright. What was your percentage?
92.
92.
Charlotte's still
another
my
fun one.
favorite. Fuck you guys.
Wait,
Oh my
who's
gosh.
better than Thomas?
Gotta find some stuff.
Kizla and Charlotte.
Set the table.
you're only like a little bit above Babs.
What's wrong?
I actually don't know. I just know that Shin doesn't like you for some
I
reason.
have some sort of, I'm assuming, item of some sort or something.
it is an item.
Okay, perfect.
I have to find it.
Cool.
Oh, there it is. Okay. She pulls out a small, what looks like a suit almost, an armor suit.
Where is she
Would you
getting
like
this
to roll
stuff
me-
from?
An Arcana check.
Oh no!
A bag of holding.
Oh no! What is my Arcana?
I
It's
actually
1.
considered,
Oh boy.
you know,
Get a 20.
what is it that sells
18.
bags of holding? I
Okay.
considered getting one for my
So the
dad's
armor
stuff.
looks almost like a wetsuit, similar. It is called the Mariner's Armor. It is a light, medium, or heavy armor. You can choose which you'd like. It is. While wearing this armor, you have a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. In addition, whenever you start your turn underwater within 0 hit points, the armor causes you to rise 60 feet towards the surface. It's decorated with fish and shell motifs.
What page is this on?
181. It's called the Mariner's Armor.
Okay, thank you.
Alec.
4.
4. Okay, Andrew.
79.
79. Okay.
The light's flickering.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, I need you to roll me an Arcana check. Lorazin pulls out a bottle. It's more of a vial, and it is filled. Okay.
Dice, I don't like it.
It is a small potion bottle, not a vial. My apologies. It is full of an amber liquid. And you can see floating around in this liquid what looks like the tail of a scorpion, some sort of snake fang, a dead spider, and a tiny heart that, against all reason, is still beating. What
Oh
did you
my
roll?
god, it's a baby.
12. Okay. You're not quite sure what this potion does, but even across the room, you can feel that it's got some mojo in it. It's got a kick.
Can I tell what kind of magic it is?
What kind of magic would this be? Transmutation would probably be the closest.
Okay.
And Lorazin handles this very carefully. And she hands it over to you and she says, "This one is from my personal collection. I'd be careful using it."
Okay.
Okay.
Ellie?
3 and 70.
3 and 70. I should bookmark this. Where's my pencil? Damn it.
What page is it on? I won't look at it just so I know for later.
Page 188.
Just in case we forget what it is later. They don't want to write in Korean, you fucking
Okay, sorry. What did you get?
70 and 3.
3 and 70.
Alec told me to get Baz to drink it.
Ooh, beautiful. All right. She pulls out a small scroll. And she hands it to you and says, "For you, my paladin, a spell scroll."
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Would you like to roll me an Arcana check?
That's a D20?
That's a D20, and add your Arcana modifier. This is our first roll from the guest.
No, it's the second one.
Second one. Oh, you rolled percentile.
Yeah.
The first D20 roll, which is the best D20 roll.
Watch this, it's a 1.
4.
I was close.
You have a 0.
Oh,
It's
boy.
4.
You're not sure. You could not tell what. It looks like an old scroll. It's kind of like wound up and stuff, and it's got a like a staff with a little unicorn's head on it. But like you don't know what it's used for.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Can I try to see if I know what
Yeah,
it is?
you can
Can
go
I?
ahead.
Okay.
Yes, Tapik, you can as well.
Arcana 18.
19.
Okay. You guys have not quite seen a lot of these, but like drawings and such, maybe
Tabix read
heard
definitely.
stories and stuff. This seems to be a spell scroll of 5th level.
I still don't know what that means.
It means it's fucking OP.
Hey, can I borrow that?
Wait, who's OP?
The spell scroll.
Spell scroll.
No.
OP is overpowered.
No, trying to make a joke. It's fucking OP. Who's OP?
Okay, anyway. Hey, can
It's-
I borrow that for a second?
It took us like 3 fucking hours to get through a puzzle room. Actually, no, it took us like a whole
We
day,
have an
didn't it?
escape
Yeah.
room tonight, guys.
Oh,
I've only escaped out of one room. And we don't.
You would have to open the scroll to read it and use it. So as of now, you're not sure what spell would be contained.
but it's 5th level, which is
Very, very rare. All right. She hands these out to each of you. She doesn't hand one to Charlotte, but she does hand Charlotte what looks like a small, almost like a scroll case, except it's about this big. Looks like a kind of like a message holder. And she says, "Your mother gave this to me."
Oh boy.
That thought. Where is she going? Where'd she come from? Where'd she go?
copyright.
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 That's why I spoke it.
All right.
Whence did she come from? Where'd she go?
That's
Guys,
it's
just
copyright
not.
Again. Yeah. Copyright.
Yeah, we got
And
copyright
that
striked,
is
so
your guys's,
yeah, they muted our video, so
Yeah.
yeah, let's not.
and that is your treasures for Arc 2. Enjoy those.
Wow, look at this sticker.
I haven't used the one I got in Arc 1.
Same, actually,
Well,
I haven't
like-
used the duck.
And the thing with treasures is you can trade them around for different party members, or you can sell them off. You can try and get them enchanted to change what they do, right? So if you can find a willing magician or a sorcerer of some sort who has the power level to change it, you can get them to attune it to you.
We need a Pumetzel.
Can I try to find out what my shield is again?
Yes, I will let
Okay.
you roll an Arcana roll,
I
and if
wanna
anyone would like to
try.
help, you can do it with
Can you
advantage.
help me?
Uh,
Hang on, I'm gonna check it.
20!
oh, nice.
You don't even need
All right,
Not
beautiful.
a nat 20.
Not a nat 20, but a 20.
That's good. Anyways, I'm so happy.
Okay, what is
I'm
my
so
shield?
Let me find its page.
Oh, Alec is going. He's going to his D&D game.
Oh my god,
See
what is
you
my
later,
shield?
Alec.
I'm so excited.
I have to find it.
Are you writing out? Oh, it's Dwarvish.
No, I'm writing out Elvish.
Elvish, okay.
I am writing out Modified Elvish. I am trying to make Drow Elvish.
Ah.
Okay, let me go find it. So the shield is obviously inscribed with the head of a red dragon.
Ooh, it's a red dragon.
Okay.
It's a black onyx shield outlined in what looks like a bronze or gold finish. First thing you know is it requires attunement, so you'll have to sit down and have a good in-depth talk with it.
Okay.
How are you
Gotta
Um,
talk to my shield.
Dragon's Breath. As an action, you may speak the shield's command word. The dragon's head animates and breathes fire in a 15-foot cone. All creatures in the cone must make a DC 20 dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 6d6 plus 10 damage on a failed save, and half as much on a successful save. You can use this feature again at the next dawn. While wielding the shield, you will have a +3 bonus to AC and have resistance to fire damage.
Fun
This
thing.
entire time you had this, and you were
Is
like,
this
"Oh, fuck it,
this one's on Pinterest, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it, and like I remembered you talking about it, and I was like, Could you just figure out what it does?
So you've been carrying around Dragon Head Shield, which is
Super
the
OP.
best. I was so excited for you to use it by accident, but you haven't. So now you know how to use it. So enjoy that.
Yay!
Enjoy your gift.
Is it on a page in there? Should I write down or no?
It's not on a page. It is homebrew.
I can send. I know I have the picture saved.
So we will do that.
Okay.
All right. Enough chit chat of that sort.
Hey guys, you'll never guess what my shield does.
What does it do? Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
You had this entire time?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know, right? It would have been so useful. Like,
You can't hurt Tabby
That
with
was
the dragon's
sarcasm.
breath. You can't hurt Tabby with the dragon's breath.
can
Okay.
I hurt Tavik with poison?
Yeah, but just not the dragon breath shields.
It's fine. She'll hurt
Wait,
Tabik with poison.
I just had to wait. I don't know if this is a stupid question or not.
What?
Never mind. It's
Ask.
fine.
Just ask it. You brought it up. Ask it.
Ask.
chill.
Ask.
It's fine.
Ask.
No,
Bella?
Ask.
If you don't ask, we're gonna bug you
I was
about it
gonna
forever.
ask if I could use my breath weapon while they use their breath weapon. Like the shield uses its and I use mine at the
You
same
could,
time.
maybe.
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
up to the DM.
It's an action to use the shield.
When you get 2 actions.
So
to
when you
attack,
get
yeah.
two actions, you'd be able to.
I think I have 2 actions.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know, we could check your level ups. Because it's a level up thing.
Yes. So,
I have +1 attack.
Lorzan finishes handing out your guys' gifts, and she takes a sheet, rolls up the map that she's got, and hands it over to Kurt Cobain over here. Busconian.
They used our dad's old character name. I'm not even kidding.
Boss. How could you do this to me? Alright, so she hands you the map, and she takes a final time to glance around. She says, I'd see about horses or a wagon, some sort of transportation, if you need to get there faster. But for now, Busconian will be able to lead you as far as she is willing to go. As he is willing to go.
First
My
edition.
apologies. Stop.
Can just
Stop it.
stop it.
Put it down.
I am literally writing a new alphabet. Could you not? I'm trying to make Drow Elvish from Elvish.
Is there anything else that I can offer you?
Where would you say we get these horses and stuff?
I do believe there is a good horse trainer in Kivali, if you'd like to stop there. Sadly, Hewitt is not in the best of weather. If you're wishing to check in with him, he's in town. I'm sure he'll have a few horses left, perhaps, but they won't be of the best quality.
Did they pass the drug test?
Would it be faster to walk on foot?
No.
Horses will make you go faster. The only problem is getting rid of them if you're going to change over in Kavili. Most likely the horses wouldn't last you the full way if you get them here in Driernook.
Okay.
So if you want to try and sell them off or something.
Well, it depends on how much
Maybe it's,
gold
like,
we
right
have.
there.
Oh yeah,
I
we're
have
like
quite a bit.
Like we're there right now, and that's where it is.
Yeah, it's the next town over, so
Yeah.
it'll take you about half a day to get there. But,
Question: what time is it right now?
it is early morning.
Okay.
I say we adventure today.
Once more to the breach.
you're also the slowest in
No.
the group, Bez.
Eat my entire dick.
No.
All 0.2 inches.
Go ahead again.
Alex
Alex comment
can
from
see that
earlier
now.
is even more relevant.
Alright.
We're trying to be PG, but we're really not.
Speaking of which, we should probably change our rating to mature at some point.
We'll do that immediately. Nothing else you can think of?
Should we go get a horse, or do you want to go to wherever we can get the nicest horse that I forgot where we said? That place.
If we got them here, we would have to. They might not last us the entire journey.
I I say we go to the next town. I'll chip in a few coin for a horse or two.
Because you have coins, unlike the rest of us.
Shin.
I didn't actually say that in character.
Just kidding. What the fuck is that?
It's a ghost.
You see Baz look up to the sky and flip it off.
I am secretly a god. Fuck you.
I don't point to the ground for that.
I mean, it's me. You probably should be pointing to the ground anyway.
Alright,
Anyway.
onward.
Onward.
All right. So Lorzing cleans up the scones and cups that she's placed out, and she sends you on your way. You make your way through town. The first thing you notice is Driernook is a collection of cottages and small homes. There's a large main street with a small market that you guys have seen once or twice, but just glancing around, there's definitely, you can see there's quite a bit of damage that's been done to this town.
In what way? Like fire? Or...
Some of the houses have been burnt down. There's a couple that are just broken. Windows are shattered. Doors are hanging off hinges.
Are you having any flashbacks?
No, I'm trying to remember the name of the bar that Adrian owns, because I was going to ask how that's looking.
We will get to that in 2 seconds, actually. Shit, I forgot what the bar's called. Dreadful Drunk.
Yes.
There it is.
Yep.
I had it in my head. You guys pass a couple of the town's villagers who are currently in the midst of cleaning up the wreckage still and helping to build up what was once their town, their home. You pass Main Street. The large, not quite large, the small squished building that once belonged to the Kobold construction crew is gone. Completely decimated. There is what looks to be a large pile of boulders that is being piled on top of where it is. Most likely to keep the creatures that had come up from the Underdark underneath out. You pass through the main street. There's not quite a lot of people here. Finally, you come to the spot in which the Dreadful Drunk stands. And it is nearly obliterated. It is a husk of a house, of a tavern. Large fire damage, portions have collapsed. The porch is just destroyed. The sign for the Dreadful Drunk is hanging by one chain, swinging back and forth in the breeze.
Where was the board again?
The board was downstairs, in the guild hall. However, it had not been there last time you'd been there.
Yeah, it disappeared.
It had disappeared. It's a rather unhappy sight, but you do know that the people made it out fine, so that gives you a little bit of comfort. Adron left, and the 2 workers.
Yeah, they were leaving when we were leaving.
Sorry.
Yeah, so the people have all evacuated beforehand, but it definitely looks like someone has tossed this place quite a bit. You turn your way down the road, and you begin your journey. At this point, I would like a navigation check from Ellie, because Ellie will be leading you on your way there.
Survival?
That will be a survival check.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, okay.
You beat us so well.
D20?
If you'd like to help,
Can I help you? I mean, actually,
Maybe
let me
see
what
what
you
her
roll first.
roll
and
is.
then
Yeah,
I'll see
most
if
of
I
us
can.
might have been this way already, so we might be able to help.
I don't think my character has. Never mind, you have.
Oh, and it's
19.
19.
yeah, no. You've traveled these this is pretty easy. It's not difficult. You guys stick to the path and follow a couple of signs. It takes you about half a day to get there. You stop in between for a light snack. You have whatever provisions you had on you. Kavili is a town situated on the edge of the lake. Small lake in front.
Oh, okay. Forgot to draw the light.
It is built on a slope almost. It gets a little bit higher up on this place, but there is the city. It is built. White woods and a couple of waterfalls flow from it. It's quite a pretty place. It's about midday by the time you guys arrive at the gates to this small city. There's a couple of boats that have been released out into the lake. It's a very, very large lake. In fact, it could almost be counted as a small sea. But you can't see fully across. You can see white tipped sails out in the distance. A couple of people are meandering around. It's not the height of the morning, but it is getting close. You are now in Kavili. Wasn't that easy?
I would like to look around for stables or anything. Horse buying markets.
You said it was midday. Can I actually see anything?
It's a bit bright. Are you wearing your hat?
No.
No.
I
Then
hate
you're
the hat. I'm wearing my hood, but...
Yeah, it's a bit bright for you.
Are there any?
You're offered a little bit of protection because of the trees and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it is the mirror.
But
is
if I try to
mostly
do,
covered,
like, a
but it's-
perception check,
it's
I'm
not the
definitely gonna have
best.
disadvantage.
Disadvantage, yes. Alright, so you're going to be looking for stables.
Or how, I don't know how you buy horses. Horse
Stables.
market.
You find a stables.
Stables.
Find a stables and purchase horses.
Usually
What would-
outside of a town. Somewhat.
Depends.
Maybe
Some of
outside
them are.
Yeah.
You can look around the outside and the inside. That will be an investigation check.
Are just you looking, or is everybody?
There would be literally no...
Somebody else should help.
5. That's a
I don't want to help.
Um,
else should.
Investigation?
You spend a little bit just kind of wandering around. There's not a lot of dwarves here, so you get a couple of weird looks, but like no one's too concerned.
short people.
Well, it's Kavili and Weldra is a little bit better known for getting some traffic, but Kavili is more of a central elfish kingdom.
Has Tabit been through here before?
Sorry?
Has Tabit been through this town before?
You would have passed through Kavili on your way to Driernook.
Is that 25?
In fact, most of you probably would have.
Perception?
The only one who wouldn't have
Oh, it's investigation.
is Baz.
Let's do
Yes, because you would have come from the south.
19.
So Baz, you wouldn't have passed through here. Kizu, you've probably been here a couple of times, and Shin as well.
I got a 19.
Oh yeah, no, you've been here lots. You managed to find a small stables. It's crouched halfway in and halfway out of the actual city walls.
Do I have the option of dragging that lost poor dwarf?
Yeah, you drag, he's kind of like confused and meandering around. It's very bright and very tall here. So he's a little bit confused. You managed to drag Baz to these stables. There's a young elvish woman sat behind one of the like clerk desk almost, and she's currently flipping through a small book. She looks up as you guys arrive. There's a couple of horses behind her spread out in the stable and stuff. She says, "Can I help you?"
Hi, we're looking for a horse or like a caravan.
We have horses.
Do you have any wagons?
Wagons are not our forte.
Where would I find that? I don't know how this city
you'd-
works, apparently.
Oh my goodness.
Could someone, like, have gone... Who like, can intervene with the dwarf?
If it's a wagon you're looking for, I'd check with the wheelsmith. His name is Donovan. He lives on the western edge of town. He's great at making carts. I'm sure he could whip something up for you. Would you like to take a look at the horses?
Of course, what's your starting price, ma'am?
Well, let's find out.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Don't mind me.
What was the roll for? I'm scared now.
We had like 100.
179.
I do have to find the equipment.
How much gold do you have right now?
A lot.
Richie
Bess?
Bell over there.
I have one whole.
Bess, how much gold do you have right now?
I have 11 gold, but 2 platinum, and I have 1 identified that is apparently worth a lot of money.
Here we go.
You have jewelers.
What type of horse are you looking for? We've got riding horses, draft horses. We have a mule.
A horse
One
that can
to
pull
go
a
on an
wagon.
adventure.
So there's a couple of differences. A mule would be better suited for carrying.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to carry a smaller race. So you and Charlotte would be better suited on a mule or a small pony. A draft horse would be better suited for dragging a wagon behind. A team of 2 would generally do you pretty well. A riding horse is meant more for riding. They wouldn't be very good at pulling a wagon, but they'd definitely be faster.
How much is the draft horses and the mules?
We've only got 1 mule. His name is Samuel.
Okay.
He's 8 gold pieces. We have a team of 2 to 3 draft horses. You can take your pick. They're 50 gold each.
How much is a platinum again?
100 gold.
You'd have to sacrifice a whole platinum.
Well, depending on how much this expensive unidentified is.
So we go to a
We could go
jeweler's
to the
and
jewelers
come back.
afterwards.
Or we could go to a jeweler's and then come back.
Remember that we're short on time.
You got a donkey? I'm kidding.
Everybody
A
can,
mule is
a donkey. I know.
a donkey.
everybody can ride in the wagon. We don't need a mule as well.
How much is the wagon?
Wait, how small is wagon gonna be?
We have to go to the wheel smith or something.
I'll take a look at 2 of your. Forgot the word we just said.
Draft horses.
Alright, so she leads you over to the farther side. You pass a couple of very sleek-looking horses. Come upon 2 slightly shorter horses. They've definitely got a more muscular build. They look like they're used for plowing fields, dragging carts. They'd be better suited for that. There's one that's a bright kind of almost orange. There's a polka-dotted black and white one, and there is a small kind of cowhide looking one.
And those are the ones for draft.
Those are the 3 draft horses.
Hey, do you like any of them?
I wasn't paying attention. I was going to ask if I could roll on charisma to get a lower price.
You would have to tell me what you'd say to get a lower price.
Oh, lordy.
If you guys would like to make a nature check or an animal handling check, you can see the stats for these horses.
Okay.
Oh, there.
I can't do
Okay.
that.
I can do that.
Are you with them?
No.
Just
no,
us.
then you cannot do
cannot.
that.
Yes, D20.
Okay, I'm going.
Is there anything of my... Can I, like...
You've never seen a horse before.
That's a big pig!
No, you've
Wow,
probably
that's a
seen
weird
couple-
looking chicken!
You don't get horses a lot down in the
It's
mines.
I got
Yeah.
21.
21, yeah. So
nice asshole.
the orange furred one looks to be a little bit stronger than the other 3. The black and white one seems a little bit more feisty. And then the cowhide one just seems a little dim.
Mellow.
Just dim.
It
looks like it's not focused.
So there's the red
like
one,
lizard dim.
which is
Like lizard
strong.
dim. But like not as dim as that.
Like, what's his name, Dim?
Okay, and I turned to the lady.
Okay, wait, what's the second one? What did it look like?
The orange one was the strong.
Yeah.
Looked a little bit more strong. The black and white polka dotted one looked a little bit more feisty.
Like feisty or like flighty?
Feisty.
Okay.
So you'd have a little bit of trouble for that one, but
Yeah.
it'd be
Strong.
stronger. And then the cowhide one is missing a couple marbles.
Okay, wait. Is it a horse or is it a cow?
It's a horse. It's just got the patterning.
It's
and
got the
color.
patterning of a cow.
Yeah.
I turn to the lady and I go, I would like the cow one.
No!
Looks like that, and I want the orange one.
All right.
They good together?
can I just like?
Yes, all of our horses are trained well together.
Can you cut him off?
That'll be
That's what I'm
100
trying to
gold
do
pieces.
here. Can I just like?
You can
I
slap
have
him
your one
hand
point.
over
Slap
the
him,
dwarf's
slap him. Just slap the dwarf.
Can I just like slyly just go over to him, sling a hand over my shoulder, and just turn away for a second?
Okay, yeah. So she goes to take the platinum out of your hand, and you get spun around to talk to Kurt Cobain.
What?
Get the orange and black one. The orange and the spotted white black one.
Okay, I'll stick with my original thing.
Wonderful.
Okay, can I do a persuasion check?
I already
can
on
slap
the
the
orange
dwarf.
one and I got it.
The orange one.
Orange and the black and white spotted one. Not the cow looking one.
Not the cow one.
Yeah, you have to be specific. No.
I hand her aggressively
Who are you
the
trying
one
Knock it out of his
platinum.
hand. Knock
Wait,
it out of
wait,
his
wait.
hand.
Who are you trying to persuade? What are you trying to do?
Oh my
Can I
lord.
persuade the dwarf? If he's gonna get the dim one, like at least we're gonna get our money's worth. So I want to talk to the store owner, the lovely
The woman?
Lord elf.
Yeah. She's a high elf.
Okay. So, anyway, a band of adventurers looking to do some good deeds get a bit of a discount. Oh no.
Oh no.
You know, I think we're pretty good as you are, you know.
I got
It-
6.
If you
Right.
wanted a charisma roll, it
She
would've
kind
been
of
better.
she narrows her eyes a little bit and she says, "Trust me, we've got lots who like to pull that stunt." And she takes the platinum from
Wait.
your hand.
I just realized I have a +6 in charisma.
Yeah,
Thanks,
know-
you try.
No, no,
you're
no,
the
no, I
fucking
can't-
bard.
It's gonna be harder this time.
You know what would have been smart? You know what would have probably been smart? If we had brought Kiza with the charm potion.
You going to fucking drown her in charm potion?
No, just
it's
like,
fine.
like
Power of charm compels you.
So
start going like
she
this.
pulls the platinum from you and begins to. She gets 2 ropes off, ties them around the necks of the horses, and hands them to you. And she says, "Bridles and saddles will be extra."
I don't know what those are. I know a saddle. I don't know what the other one thing is.
So those would be the mechanism you use to drive the horses.
Took him up to the cart.
Hey, how much money you got?
You should actually have more than that. I just didn't know what to give you.
Well,
You'd have to ask Reese.
Lex gave me 10 gold. And would we really need saddles if they're draft horses and we're using them to pull a cart?
That's why I was going to ask if we should just get, like,
Bridles.
We definitely
Bridles.
need bridles.
how much are the bridles, man?
So a bit in a bridle would be 2 gold each.
Oh, that's fucking cheap as shit.
So 4 gold.
Please tell me you're not saying that out loud.
No, that's just Jason.
Okay.
We see that she might up the price.
I definitely don't pull my other character and pull out a bag of gold because that might end badly.
Oh, that was so cute.
Do I
Adorable,
ask
though.
for the price or not?
It's 2 gold.
It's not.
We
it's-
also have feed and
Oh yeah.
oh no,
horses are so much to take
feed
care
and
of.
saddlebags if you're interested.
How much is feed? Saddlebags.
1 bag of feed is 5 copper pieces.
Oh, that's fucking cheap as well. Fuck.
How much? What did you say?
Saddlebags would be good for carrying stuff.
We have a wagon.
If we're gonna get a wagon,
Yeah.
We don't need a saddlebags. We don't need
I'll
saddlebags. But
take-
how long does?
How much do horses eat?
So 1 bag of feed would be a day.
Okay, we have 6 days travel.
How much is 90 silver?
You want to buy 90 silver?
No, I'm just
No.
asking. I'm just asking.
Okay. Oh god.
Is the silver
We need
100
12
copper?
bags of feed.
Is 1 silver piece is 100 copper pieces, or is it 10 copper pieces?
The
You
book
s- you
says
used
10.
to, yeah, but you
10.
used to say 100, 100, 100.
It's 100, 100, 100. It's 100 copper pieces. 'Cause that's just easier.
Okay, so we need 12 bags of feed, and then we need 2 bridles. So that's 4, and then
welcome to the math segment
Thank
of
you
our
for
D&D
doing math
game.
for me because
and then
I
60 copper pieces. So 60 copper and 4. Is it gold?
I'll do whatever that dude said. I had her 1 silver and 4 gold.
So you're getting how many?
40.
You're getting the 2 draft horses.
12 bags of feed, I think.
12
and we
bags
can
of
just
feed.
Let her keep the
And then
change.
2 of the bridles for the horses, and then you
Yeah.
just give them back 40 copper pieces.
Okay. We did it.
Okay, now
That'll
how
be
much is the wagon gonna cost?
Well,
Okay, I hope someone else pays for it.
Okay, yeah. So she goes to a pouch at her side, digs around, and hands you 40 copper pieces.
Thank you.
A small pouch of 40 copper pieces.
Thank you.
Anything else I can interest you in today?
What else you got? I'm just curious. I've never seen a horse, apparently.
We
horse
have a pony,
Uh,
a mule, a couple of riding horses.
Baz could ride a pony.
We also have saddles, bits and bridles, bardings.
That it?
Be nice.
I think we're good. Thank you very much. And if you ever need more business, give her a business card.
Alright, she takes your business card, pockets it.
Give me a second. I have
Turns
to find
around,
the
rips
business
it
card.
off.
Okay. So she calls over a slightly more burly looking male elf, and he begins to carry out a couple of bags of feed. You now have 12 bags of feed laid out at your feet, and 2 draft horses waiting with ropes. There's also a small pouch full of the bits and bridles.
Yeah, I was gonna say get saddlebags
Are
for
you
the
strong?
feed, but
would have been a good idea to bring the dragonborn.
guess I could go see what the heck they're doing. Nudge, nudge.
Where does that show?
no.
Strength.
Oh,
I mean, there's
I
no
have a
point in
question.
Shin trying to find anything because he's gonna have disadvantage.
Could I roll
your
like a
strength?
perception, see if there's anything that would interest kids
How about
around this
you
town?
take
Sure, roll me a perception
the
check.
horses, and I
Okay,
will
what's
take
my
them.
perception? Perception.
plan.
They are.
Alright.
No, you guys are the same strength.
What, you got a 14 or a 16, did you say?
14.
16.
You said I got a 16.
For what?
I
You
only
take the
have
horses
+1.
because you're taller.
And I'm also wood elf, so animals.
And I'll take the
16.
feet because I'm
16?
good with feet.
We'll get to you in 2 seconds. What
We're
are you
good at
guys trying to
eating.
do?
They're
gonna
taking the
take their
feed and they're taking the
disgusting-
horses.
Yeah.
Okay. You're taking all of the feed?
Can you carry 12 bags of feed?
It's 120 pounds.
Maybe we
I
should.
don't know.
Because, like,
You could just tell them you'll come
what
back
are,
for
what
it.
are those 3 doing right now?
They're doing
How
other
about
things.
you take half of the feet?
I will say I am currently useless.
Yes. Okay.
Take half
So basically, Shin is useless once we reach high noon, because he has disadvantage on anything to do with perception.
Just buy a saddlebag and put the feed in the saddlebags.
I don't know what that voice is, but I'm not listening.
Shin also only has a
Um,
+1 strength.
So we'll break up with you two for a second while you guys mentally argue over this. And we'll go over to Kizza. So Kizza, I'm so glad you asked.
Okay. I'm scared now.
Oh, I'll
This is
send you
fine.
mine.
You take a bit to look around. There's a couple of somewhat pretty cool looking places. There is a harbor dock with a couple of stalls for fish and assorted items that do with fishing. You pass a couple of trinket stores, a bookstore. There seems to be a small store. You're not quite sure what it is for, but it looks quite interesting. It's got a large palm with an eye in the center and 3 stars above the middle 3 fingers. You also managed to pass by what looks like a small tavern. It has a picture of a small gnome holding a rubber duck. And it says Todd's.
Nobody else.
Okay.
Bless you.
Bless you.
So you said I see this like
Not fell, by the way.
building that has a hand and then 3 stars above and there's an eye in the middle. Okay, can I go there?
Alright, yeah. You walk in. It's quite a dark shop. There's some heavy curtains to block out the sunlight and a couple of what look like enchanted sconces to provide a little bit of what looks like blue moonlighting. There's a small waiting room and through the back you can see a large table spread out. Along the walls are a couple of drawings that have been posted up. There's a small bell that rings above the door. but you're left alone for a little bit until finally a man walks out. He's got almost gray skin, this very shiny bald head, intricate markings, what looks like tattoos dot his face and body. He has a lip ring.
I know what he is. That's why I'm
And he is taller than you are.
Oh my god!
And quite buff.
Oh lord!
He stops, leans against the counter and stuff, and he says, "How can Bob help you?"
Love him. Okay.
Is he what I'm thinking he is?
He's a Goliath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a second. I was like,
I'm new here. Wait. I'm new here. What exactly is this shop?
This is Bob's shop. I handle tattoos, magical illusions, enchantments.
audio.
I don't care.
Careful
Magical
to...
illusions,
You're really close
enchantments, all types of stuff you need, Bob's got.
Fuck. Shin can't see shit, so...
Can you give me one moment? I'll be right back.
No rush, little lady.
Are you going to grab me?
Kizza knows you have tattoos. She's like, let's go, bonding
Okay.
experience.
In the meantime, what are Tabak and Shin doing?
I was gonna look for a blacksmith.
I'm apparently being stolen.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, in the time after
Shin's
she's
not there
wandered
yet.
off,
Come
Yeah,
to the
I'm not there
blacksmith.
right now.
where has Shin
Come
decided
look
to
at
do?
weapons.
Shin is looking around. Shin doesn't know what to do. I'm not entirely sure that Shin even knows where Tabak is.
Okay.
Shin, Tabak like leads you by the arm.
Well, because I
Like,
can't...
make way for my blind grandmother.
Well, what is it? I have maybe, like, 5 feet of vision right now.
Yeah.
So is Kizza even going to be able to find me?
You can find us pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, I guess we're
Um,
drow
find a
enough.
Roll me an
Blacksmith.
investigation.
Yeah. 14.
14, yeah. So there's a small,
Bringing Shin
it's, not a blacksmith's, but you do manage to find a weapon crafter's, weaponsmith. There is a selection of very ornate bows and long swords, lined up against the wall. A stouter, older looking, high elf man, is currently working on the detailing in a fine dagger. And he, like, gives you guys a glance as you walk into
Have
the
I been here
store.
before?
Unless you'd passed through, looking for, through the actual forge itself, when you'd pass through on your way to Driernook, probably not.
Passed through and looked there quickly.
Yeah, you would have maybe stopped by, but
Yeah.
not enough that he would
goes to
remember you or
every
anything.
town.
He kind of, he gives, like, a glance up at you guys and then goes back. Just kind of shouts at don't touch the stuff, you can look as you want.
Anything interesting looking? What's happening with them?
Roll me a perception check. Let's see what you can find.
Shin can look at those too as well.
Am
20.
I'm still kind of outside, right?
You can come in. It's an open air shop, but
But it has
it's got a
Covered?
covering.
So will I have
so
disadvantage?
It won't be, you won't be perfectly eyesight, but you definitely
can
won't have
see.
a disadvantage. You'll be able to see, yeah.
Okay.
It's just not as nice as you'd like.
What am I rolling? Investigation? Perception?
Shin?
Perception.
So that's an 11.
Okay.
I got 20.
Sorry. I'm trying to find something here.
Fancy.
I actually do a little speak to do that. I have no knowledge in this conversation.
Mood.
I'm just waiting.
Oh, it's awesome. Alright.
Now we
So you
have
guys take a glance
know
around.
what
There's
Drow looks like.
long bows, short bows. There's a couple of quivers and arrows that are quite nicely detailed. You find a small section with a couple of maces and a javelin that is currently, like, sparking, almost. It has a small blue gem in the blade itself, but it's done in kind of like a white metal.
Any of the maces look interesting?
Roll
or
me an
better?
investigation check. We'll see how well you can find Shin.
Oh boy, let's see if I can find Shin.
Are any of the maces better than the one?
No.
you have?
Fuck.
Is that a 1?
Yep.
Yeah.
Use your
Uh,
other dice.
Okay,
Put
here.
that one away.
As a fact, you spend a while kind of like running around town trying to figure out where Shin is. You not only can you not find them, you're not quite sure where you found the shop.
Damn it.
You're a little bit turned around. It would take a little bit to find it again.
Any of the maces look like the one better than the one he has now?
Roll
Better
me
than the
a.
plus one?
Oof.
Or
God.
enchanted maces. Are any enchanted?
Make me an Arcana check for that.
13.
Okay.
This is rolling shit.
Just roll them all at once. Actually, like, roll them and not just drop them. Maybe.
Kick my dice over me.
You have what type of mace? You have a +1
It's
mace?
just a +1. It gives advantage on some things because it looks fancy.
There's a couple of nicely crafted ones, but you can't find any that are particularly magical. There's one that has an enchantment on it that, as far as you can tell, makes sure that the blade stays clean no matter what. But other than that, no.
Sabin doesn't like anything. Does she want to look around?
I looked around. I only got an 11.
I want to find my way back to the shop.
Same amount of things. You catch what looks like a small rod, almost like it's about the size of a baton. And it.
I might know what it is.
You're smiling. You always smile when I start describing
I might know
stuff.
what it is because I know a lot of things.
There's a small rod. It's got an inscription of what looks like 2 horses either side, done in a nice kind of silvery metal. That's placed on a kind of cushion that's got a couple of daggers and stuff, which is why you drawn over.
Can I go take a closer look over there?
Yep.
I'd be rolling investigation or perception still.
Investigation. If you're investigating the rod.
Well, I'm just going over to
Just
look
the
and see what's there.
Okay. Yep. Investigation.
Investigation, 15.
They're well made. Definitely, they're a little bit higher quality than a lot of places you find. None of the blades seem particularly striking. They don't seem to be enchanted in any way.
Yeah. Oh. No.
Oh no.
I was just.
Would you like to roll an investigation to try and find Shin or the shop?
I want to find the shop so bad.
Roll me an investigation check.
You're gonna leave.
We will get back to you in a second.
I'm sorry. I really.
Shin's tattoos
I
are
have-
actually important.
I have a
but-
really big idea, so it's kind of why I really want to find the shop.
Alright.
Because if I find it, I will be very happy.
We will do Kiza here quick, and then we will jump back over to the
Please.
stables, and then we'll go back to you guys in the weapons shop.
18.
18, yeah. You wander down a street like trying to find this stuff, and you're like turn around and you cannot remember where it is, right? So you take a second to sit down on a couple of stairs that are nearby just to like take a second trying to remember. And you look up and you're sitting on the stoop of the shop.
Oh, what a Kiza thing to do.
And you manage to find it again.
Okay.
You going back in? Or
Yes.
you just okay, yeah. You walk back in. Bob the Goliath is still leant up against the counter. There's a small halfling woman who's now talking to him. Heavily tattooed.
I
like
love her.
she's got face tattoos
Wait.
and shit.
Wait, where's my dice?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Even or odd?
Oh, no.
Even.
I'm not attracted.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Kiza is attracted to almost everyone.
She is incredibly burly. Face tattoos, just full body,
That's
just
why she looks
covered in
too
beautiful
butch.
ink.
I'm not about that life.
So
And
is it attraction or
she hands over a small pouch of coins, waves goodbye, and then she walks out the door. Bob looks up as you go and she goes, "Hey, I waited for you.
Oh, thank you. Wait. I'm dropping everything. I'm so excited.
Can Bob do something for you now?" Or...
Yes. How much for a smaller tattoo?
You got a picture?
Wait.
We talking
I was-
enchantment? We talking blessing? What we talking about, man?
Okay. Hang on. I want to draw it out quick.
Not paper.
I would love paper. That would be amazing.
You do that, we'll
I'll do
jump
that.
to the
Jump to
stables.
them.
Do we want to read?
I am actually so mad that Shin's not there.
Did you
I
write
know, I'm very
down
upset.
a...
I'm
So
very
Shin, is Shin wanting to look for one?
You take
Oh yeah,
half,
because
I'll
Shin
take the
has
other
like
half.
3 tattoos he
Shin the
needs to
rest.
get.
Yeah, like Tabba could ask you where you want to go and he can help you find
Yeah.
Come to us. Like, so,
I was
you have a
gonna
sparrow, where would
roll
you send it to?
it. You have
My-
disadvantage to
Shin
look
to
for
put
it.
this in
Well,
the
I'm-
fire.
I'm checking
Oh, yeah,
my dice because I
agreed.
was gonna roll to investigate the rod.
Ah.
Wait.
Where's the page on that? Get Tabby to meet us here. Shin, I can also put
Okay.
Stop rolling ones!
Okay. I think I'm gonna use this one.
And you're cool. Head nod, head nod.
Nice.
Okay, so you're sending the sparrow out.
Yes. And I have the spell. It's on this page. I have the spell speak with animals, but
So it's your
Is that
the
for-
sparrow is your beast companion, correct?
okay.
Yeah.
So you are able to communicate
You have
it
a
with it.
magical connection
Okay.
to the
Yeah.
animal.
Do I just like give a note and then?
Write a note,
Okay. Can I
and we will send the sparrow and
What's the
see if it
yellow
can
one?
find them.
Yeah.
differentiate?
You have the stats for your sparrow.
Yes.
All right, I would like you to roll
Oh my god,
a
is this starting to die?
wisdom
Wisdom.
roll.
It has advantage.
See if it can
I'll
find.
write it. Do you want me to write out a note now or after?
If you want to roll that and then write a note,
Yeah. And then I'll just because it'll take a while for the sparrow to get everywhere.
it'll take a
So
while.
wisdom on.
It has advantage on wisdom or lying on sight.
Hey Bella, when are you leaving?
Except your inside.
Don't worry
4:30?
about 1 second. I'm just you're all confusing
Today's
me.
4:30.
Yes, same here. So wisdom 12,
All right,
13.
I got
It has
it.
advantage.
So do it again.
It has advantage. That's the key.
You just take what's the higher number out of the two.
roll
Oh
it again.
shoot!
take
I
the
still
higher.
have to figure out what I want to get for her.
17.
17? Alright. So you send the sparrow off with the note. You can write that. We'll duck back into you two. At the weapon shop.
Yay!
Where did that other piece
Fuck.
of paper go?
What are you doing?
I was gonna investigate the rod, but I got an 11.
Okay.
I wanted to look at it too, so it's fine. 18 Arcana?
18 Arcana, yes. So you do recognize the kind of patterning that's built into this. You're definitely well aware of the smithing that's gone into this and stuff. You can see a couple of runes have been etched into the actual horses. This is an immovable rod.
I was right!
So it's a flat iron rod, and it has a button on one end that you can press. You can use an action to press the button, which causes the rod to become magically fixed in place. Until you or another creature uses an action to push the button again, the rod doesn't move, even if it is defying gravity. The rod can hold up to 8,000 pounds of weight. More weight causes the rod to deactivate and fall. A creature can use an action to make a DC 30 strength check, moving the fixed rod up to 10 feet on a success.
Topic will tell Shin this. It's an immovable rod. It's... Yeah. He'll tell information that Reese just said, 'cause I
So-
don't read it.
You don't
Yeah.
move.
It's useful if you want to keep something in place.
Mm-hmm.
And it does not move unless you have a high strength.
Horses.
A, you didn't tell Shin that you were
Hey,
going to
it's
look for
okay.
horses.
Well,
We have
wait a minute.
All right. You guys are kind of like perched over this. You hear what sounds like a small trill of a bird.
Oh no, I'm not reading it yet.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
right
sorry.
then. You're like,
You don't.
They were probably talking back and forth for at least
Yeah.
10 minutes. Let's go.
Are you writing it in common, by the way?
Yeah.
Or are you sending it to all of them, or are you just?
No, just those two.
Firebird.
Yeah,
The
because-
fire one was supposed to be picked out because it was easy to find.
Yeah.
Um,
Fireman.
so you guys hear what sounds like a soft chirp of a bird, and a small sparrow lands on your shoulder, Tabik. And it's got a small note wrapped on its leg,
Yeah,
tied to its
slow
leg.
writing.
kind of clutched in its claws, and it drops it into your hand, and then tweets.
I mean, you
And
could just.
We'll jump back
Yeah,
to
please.
Bob.
You
and
could
then-
just say it out loud because you're
Okay,
gonna have to
So I
anyway.
have a question for you.
Yes.
Okay, so I have two ideas, and I don't know which one to go with. So I kind of want to talk to you like away
Private?
from people. Yeah.
Secrets. We could leave the table
Secret
for
thing.
secrets.
Please tell me you're going to make a
Secret
dildo.
No, there's
Dildo.
some secret talks that need to happen.
Okay,
We
so
can leave the table if you want to talk.
we can do
secrets.
this two ways. We can have them leave the table and have our wonderful viewers able to listen in on the secret, or we can leave the table and have our wonderful viewers in suspense with the rest of the table.
Suspense.
Suspense it is. Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
Oh yeah, we can discuss the bird thing.
Oh yeah.
Discuss the bird thing. Just have an idea of what I need to know.
Reese, by the way, I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
need to talk to you later about what tattoo, if he gets one.
Oh my god, I want to this is Nova Gertz.
Oh my.
It's gonna be magical light. It's gonna
Shin,
be like
well,
a
because
shield.
Shin needs his one here,
Yeah.
and he needs one, I was thinking, in here.
Yeah.
Because his sister stabbed herself.
Oh,
in
Dylan.
that. And then there
Can
was
we just be like tattoo gang, where we just have like a bunch of tattoos in our
then,
body?
well, then I have ones that I need to add post. He's got a name here. That is very important.
Backstory.
Why can't it be forward story?
And he actually he has
Oh, I'm in a new word.
he has something similar to his Bond written somewhere else.
What is something cool about bats?
His guitar.
He could explode if he gets
There's a
near
ukulele
certain
there
walls.
if you want to go to town.
We brought our ukulele. Oh no, not again. That's really bad for audio.
Yeah, guys.
He's tuned again.
I wanted to see if Tabitha could get some. Get a
What
tattoo.
tattoos? I'm also afraid that Shin's are gonna cost more.
Enchanted.
Not just that. All of his, well, because all his tattoos have to be enchanted, right? Because they're going over scars.
Yeah.
And they're enchanted not to disappear.
I want to give some to Tabit, but Tabit also has his markings everywhere.
Cool.
You just gotta tell me. Oh lord.
You gave him another instrument.
Is it out of tune?
We tuned it yesterday.
Damn it.
It's
Okay, no,
the strings.
stop.
Guys, no.
Set up by the
So you hold up the small image you've managed to sketch out on your way here. Bob takes it, kind of looks it over. It'll be difficult on scales, but we can do it.
Okay, how much would it be?
Do you want it magic? Okay.
How much is it?
20 gold.
Oh my lord. Okay, wait. How does that work?
Jeez, I don't know if Shin's gonna be able to afford his.
Wait.
Okay.
How many silver is in one?
Because if
gold?
hers are small,
100 silver is 1 gold.
Okay. I'm not gonna be able to afford it.
what, do you only have silver?
No, I
Sparrow
have like
left.
11 gold, but I only have 99 silver.
Oh.
You're one away.
Yeah. So I'd be
Why
screwed.
don't you say you could like do a loan or something?
Yeah.
Have to do my tattoo and I'll come back for the rest.
Would it be simpler if I got a single?
He kind of thinks it over and says,
Your reply on the back.
tell you what, you do a small job for me, I'll do it for 10 gold.
Deal.
Cool. I've got a friend cross town. He wanted me to drop something off with him, but I've been a bit caught up here in business.
Okey-doke.
You take this to him,
To do at the
you
top.
get me my money, you bring it back here, I'll give you your tattoo.
Deal.
Tabit doesn't give a crap.
Alright. He reaches underneath his like little desk, starts rummaging around, and he pulls out a small box, and he puts it on the thing. He says, "Down by the harbor, you're looking for a man named Dent.
Got it.
It's tough to miss him."
Cool. I take the box and I walk out and I need to figure out where the hell this is.
Alright.
uh,
So you can roll an investigation to find the harbor.
Could I roll survival for like navigation or no? Because that would give me...
Yeah, you know what? I'll say you've been looking around for long enough. You can find your way to the harbor like that, but you'll have to investigate if you want to try and find
20.
20. Yeah, no. It's not that
I have handwriting
difficult.
for Tavik.
You're kind of at the topmost tier of the city. It's kind of like a slanted. This is kind of along the back of the outer gates. But you manage to make your way down through the streets, and you finally pass into the large harbor section. Taking a glance around, there's quite a couple of people here. It seems to be a larger side of the city business. You see a couple of elves are just pulling in on a boat. There's still people hawking wares and fishing supplies, all sorts of stuff.
Okay. Is there any guy that looks kind of like out there or like he would be friends with
Make
Bob?
me an investigation roll.
Okay. 15.
Aha.
You managed to spot two somewhat odd-looking figures. The first one is a shorter woman. She's high elf, but she looks high elf, except for the fact that she has two large horns curling out of her forehead. They are kind of intricately. There's some colorful ribbons wrapped around them. Ribbons in her hair and stuff. She looks quite put together. She's currently standing next to what must be 7-8 foot tall metal golem person.
Okay.
Deep red suit of armor and a large concaved part.
Okay. I go over to them.
Okay, yeah. They kind of glance up as you walk over. They've been kind of like leant against the side of a building, watching a couple of the boats come in and out.
Are either of you Dent?
The tiefling woman looks you over and stuff. She says, "What's it to you?"
A delivery from Bob.
Oh, you got his shit. I didn't realize he had a new delivery girl. Okay. Hand it over.
Hand me the money first.
Ah, nah. Did Bob not explain how this works, woman?
Oh no.
You give me my shit, then we pay you.
No tricks?
Hey, I'm a woman of my word.
You know, it would be better to, like, have taken the drow who's part of the criminal underworld. Just saying.
Yeah, it would have been better if you didn't go with Tavik, now wouldn't it?
Inside check.
Oh lord. This is gonna suck.
Okay. We have the note all
We'll
done.
do that in 2 seconds here.
8.
8. She's got like a poker face on, but you can't tell whether she's being true or not. But she doesn't seem to be troubled, and you guys are in daylight, so
Okay.
you're not exactly hidden.
I hand it to her.
Poker face.
Yep. She takes the small box, kind of looks it over, flips it, throws it up in the air, catches it, weighs it. Okay. And she hands it to the large automaton next to her. And he takes it kind of creaky. Takes it, looks at it, opens the thing, and then looks back at you, closes it. He has no eyes, it's just kind of like a helmet with these 2 empty sockets in it.
Oh lord.
And he holds the box, and the woman nods at him, takes out a small pouch, and hands it. He says, "Make sure it gets to Bob."
No problem.
Cool.
Okay, I go back.
Alright, yep.
Note.
Make me an investigation check to see if you can find it again.
Oh lord. Jesus.
It's definitely a difficult place to find.
It's like a back alley.
Is that a 1?
It's a 2.
Okay. Yeah, you wander around for a little bit.
Okay, well
2
that's
plus
okay.
what?
It would be plus my investigation, so it would be a 3.
Oh yeah, no, you wander around for a little bit less.
Mhm.
Back to the armory. You guys have the note.
They have written a response.
Why is there a ring around?
Because it's fancy.
Oh, okay.
You have to give it
Open the
a
very
try.
fancy scroll.
Yeah.
Tavik,
Oh, that's
Okay,
their
side,
messages
there
on
you
that
go.
side.
Tabak, Baz and I are at the stables. Baz needs to appraise a strange rock. Please stop by as soon as possible. Bosconian. P.S. Send a reply with the sparrow. Lovely. So this small
And the replies on the other side.
Tabak. Okay, we'll be there soon.
Will we?
So this small sparrow drops the note into your hand. It doesn't detail which stable or where, but you assume you'd probably be able to find it at some point.
Yeah.
Soon may be relative.
So
You guys have been in the city for 40 minutes now, about maybe an hour.
Yeah.
So it's getting closer to 1 o'clock.
So I'm
Not
almost out of
Great,
disadvantage,
but you're pretty good.
yeah.
You're getting better.
Tabak,
Rings and size.
would you be willing to help me find something? Tabak!
me in the face.
Damn it!
You hit me in the face.
Oh, I'm
with
sorry.
paper.
Mwah. Okay.
I don't see why not.
Okay. Do you happen to know what a tattoo parlor looks like?
Probably not. But you
We
can help find it. Roll investigation.
we're generally looking for anything with signage indicating tattoos, piercings, etc. If you could help me look, I'm not well off on site at the moment. It would be much appreciated.
Yeah, I could help.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you can roll an investigation. You won't be rolling at disadvantage because Tabak will be acting kind of as your eyes, but you'd be the knowledge.
Or I could roll two.
Because that was a 5.
Using
You would be at disadvantage because you haven't seen one of these before.
8.
So you don't manage to find anywhere that looks quite like this. You find a couple of like bookshops and a couple of trinket shops,
I'm
but
gonna re-roll my dice
other than
again.
that,
Yeah.
you do manage to find Kiza, who's kind of wandering around.
Can I try again?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. So you three are now together.
Wait, first of all, I'm gonna do this. And
Okay, so Shin knows what one looks like. She knows where it is. Can she roll with advantage?
Are you going to
Yeah.
discuss the
Okay,
I will.
No.
Kiza, you can roll with
Shin read it.
advantage.
This is the problem with them.
I would have shown Shin the note and have written the reply and let Shin see it.
Okay, so
15.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah. You managed to find it. You're kind of. Are you two going with them?
Yeah,
I'm
you're
going
following.
with, but I don't know about Tabak.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should probably go to the stable.
No.
No? Okay, fine.
Okay.
Here we go.
So you three make your way
I
back
showed
up the
Shin the
street.
note.
You pass the book stores and the trinket shops and stuff. Kiza kind of ducks down a small alleyway and into a smaller street, kind of a back street. And you guys do manage to make your way in. The small jingle of the bell. Bob is not at the front counter like he has been the last 2 times, but he does wander out after a second, kind of brushing his hands off with a rag. Says, "You bought friends and my money."
I take it out and I hand it to him.
Daisy says, "Good, right price." Puts it back in there and says, "How can Bob help you?"
I'd
you wanna
like
go
my
first?
tattoo.
Wonderful. 10 gold.
I give it to him.
Okay. Minus 10
I
gold.
already erased it, I believe. Yes, I
Yep.
did. Perfect.
How long is the tattoo take?
It's a good question.
How small is it?
It is
It's about
forearm length.
yeah.
It can take,
2 hours.
depending on how detailed it is, hour.
It's going to take about an hour.
Okay,
Shin
we'll be
has
there
more than one to get.
And he says, "What can I do for you two then?"
Does your shop have any problem tattooing over scars?
"No.
No?
Please, I'm Bob. Bob
Oh
can do
shoot,
many
I need to
things."
talk to you about one of them.
Oh, wonderful.
Do you
Write
wanna let
it
the
down, I will
viewers
get to it in 2 seconds. And you, Mr. Fiery.
I like him. I still need to think about what I want to have as tattoos, but
Okay.
it's possible.
Well then, you think over this. I will be back when your friend has got scales like polished gemstone.
him so much.
He takes you back into the small place. There's like a padded table back there, and he gets you to lay down. He takes out a couple of sets, and they're not like tattoo guns like we have now. It's mostly poke and quill, but he does seem to have what looks like a quill almost that he uses to outline the thing first, and then begins to.
I didn't know if you had any ideas about something because I never really wrote anything in his backstory.
I do not have any ideas. I do not.
Because I know about
You could
he
say
wants to get
gets
the mask.
tattoo and then figure out what it is later on.
But the problem is I think he needs to know in order to determine a price.
I do need to know the pricing.
Well, because the one is the mask, which he's just going to have added on to the other one, which is the moon over the cliffs. And there's actually, I forgot, there's a sword in the cliffs. But
Like,
I'm trying to figure out what he would get to symbolize her. I was almost thinking some sort of flower that grew in the Underdark, but I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, you could definitely get some. They'd have probably eye berries down there. A lot of more mushrooms. Depends on which part you're going, where you guys are from.
I'm just trying to think, because she was a sorcerer, right?
Yep. She was a practitioner of the arts.
No, you can't
I'm
read
saying how long the stream's been going.
I'm just trying to figure out.
We could take a break in a little bit and discuss. It's been
Yeah.
an hour and
We should
20
probably
minutes.
take a break and then
Yeah.
discuss.
Yeah.
We will do that then.
Time for tattoo talk.
We're gonna take a short break here, guys, just to go over some tattoos, get some discussion, so we can actually get to some more gameplay for you guys rather than just talking. We will see you in about half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds
We'll
good.
reconvene then. Till then, good luck, high rolls, good fortune.